Hi, this is Cedric.
Hello, Cedric. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing just fine. Is this the developer of the Supravantage?
It is.
Okay. I'd like to first of all start this off by saying thank you for the opportunity to speak to you about this urgent issue in my life and some of the other individuals or my colleagues that I work with are having the same problems or issues in the financial industry right now. We're all concerned about our portfolios, our investments, and some of the things that we're actually doing. And I ran across your site. As you know, I got in touch with you, and you have this software or you have this system that you're using called the Supravantage. Can you tell me now why you're coming forward to answer these types of questions where when I spoke to you before you said this is not something you normally do?
Well, it's funny you asked that. I started trying to create this program right at about 6 years ago. We've been running it since 2005. And I'm just not getting to the point where I can successfully articulate what's happening. In other words, I saw what was happening, but I was having trouble explaining it. And it took me a while to evolve my thought process and to evolve my opinion so that I can now come forward and give someone a very good answer to a lot of questions and make sure I can articulate well and make sure I don't have to take anything back once I say it because maybe I made a mistake or overlooked anything. So now I'm prepared to say things, and I know what I'm saying is truly the case because this machine has just been a series of discoveries for me as well.
Can you tell me a little bit about your background and how you ended up where you are now and how this all came about with this Supravantage or with this system?
Well, yeah, I'm well briefed in the areas of finance. I went to the university. I studied under the traditional scholars of old, so to speak, and knew a lot. Got good grades. But when I got out here and tried to put all that into practice, it never stopped me from getting hurt. I got hurt a lot. I got led astray a lot. Me and my clients, things would just happen that I never could really explain. It was always something new. And I had to find an answer.
So I guess you consider yourself a victim as well.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I know a lot about the pain, the gain, the risk, the reward. And it seems like getting hurt is just part of the Wall Street experience from what I can see. It's just and things happen that really want to make you not want to play anymore, but it's something we have to do. We must save and we must invest. It's an unavoidable reality. Okay,
well that's interesting to know that somebody on the other side has actually been hurt by some of this, some of the advice or some of the information that's going around.
I've been hurt more times I care to mention or to try to remember.
Can you tell me, as I was reading, why the nickname the Supravantage? Why'd you nickname it the Hound Dog? I guess is what you named it.
Oh man, you remember that? Well, listen, when I was coming up, we used to go hunting a lot. We used to love to hunt, sportsmen, and we would go hunting with hound dogs. And a few dogs in particular, one named Bo, another named Bim, we would go rabbit hunting, and these dogs would find things we never could find. They would go places we never would think to go and find exactly what we were looking for every time.
I got it.
And it's funny because, so to me, the Supravantage is the same to the market, the same thing those hound dogs were to the rabbits.
I got it. I see. I can see where you're tying that in. So I guess one of the big questions for me then is how did the hound dog make out during the fall of 2008? Is it okay to call the system the hound dog, I hope? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's our little pet name. Well, just so you know, Cedric, we did very well in the fall of 2008. You would have wanted to have a performance like that even in the greatest of years. We took advantage of that time to test the system to see what it was made of because we don't get those type of opportunities often. So we attacked the market daily in an effort to see exactly if our system was up to task, and it performed great, admirably. We couldn't ask for anything better.
So you mean to tell me that you attacked the market at that time just about when everybody else was running away? You actually moved forward.
That's exactly what I'm saying. We had to know. We had to know how powerful the machine really was. We had to know what type of pressure it was up to taking. And now we have bragging rights. If we would have ran like everybody else did, now people would still be wondering, well, when the next time it comes, you think you're going to be ready? Are you going to run like everybody else did? Well, how do we really know? I mean, it would be so many questions right now. There's no questions. We can go back and look at every play, everything we did, every run, and we were there during those months of madness, and we performed great.
Well, let me do this then. Let's move up from 2008. Let's move up to around 2010, the flash crash back in the spring of 2010. Can you talk about that? Do you remember those days?
Yeah, I remember those days. I remember them well. Actually, the volatility of the flash crash kind of caught us off a little bit. We got hurt. We got through it, but it did hurt us. We know now that there's some things that need to be done. If you read on the website Supravantage.net, we talk about system strengths and weaknesses in one section, and it talks about the recalibrations that are necessary from time to time. Another section that's really helped, the methodology section. So the recalibration needed to take place. It was really a perfect storm that needed to happen to hurt us, and it kind of happened. And we got over it, but we did get hurt.
So what have you done to answer the problem? What have you done to tweak the system?
Well, now, even though we still technically recalibrate periodically, we now do it on a daily basis, sometimes 2-3 times a day, instead of waiting for things to fall out of alignment. We just keep aligning our calibrations ongoing in response to what happened to the flash crash. So now we're much better attuned as to what's the status of the market, the environment. It gives us the feel that we need to stay out of trouble. So now we're able to actually play the market, the general marketplace. We're actually able to call the indexes up and down now as a result of our experience and as a result of us trying to make these corrections after the flash crash incident. So we're doing much better. I like what we're doing. It's working well now. It's working really well.
So is it safe to say you're still improving the system?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're always doing something to it. We're always evolving. The market, it's a series of responses. The market is always changing, so we have to change and stay up with the market. And it's like a game of tug of war, chess, so to speak. But thank God, here it is, 6 years going on, 7 years, and this thing is still running. And still, I'm happy to say it's truly the champion of the stock exchange. And I don't see any end in sight.
Now let me say this. When I was trying to get in touch, or when I was speaking to you earlier, and I requested that you come on, and if I could record this, I asked you if I could record this, and you said I could. You had mentioned something, and I didn't understand what it was. Exhibition 30. Can you talk a little bit about that, or is that something you can discuss, or?
Well, it's funny. I think I might have mentioned that in passing. To make a long story short, most people can't even believe what we have is real. And I have proposals. As you know, I'm a financial professional. I have proposals. I give suggestions. I ask people to do certain things with their money. And a lot of times they don't believe what I'm saying. They don't believe it's the right thing. They say, when I tell them what we're doing, they act like I'm a witch. So what I do, and what I've done in this particular instance, I said, well, let's just play for it. Let's put it all on the line. And in this particular instance, Exhibition 30, I'm giving them 30 live data points, nothing reconstructed or past tense. I mean, it's a live demonstration. And I told them up front, no less than 24 out of the 30 are going to come back good. That's it. And after I do my 24 or better out of 30, then they bring the money. They come do business. They come talk serious. We work out the details. So that was what I did instead of taking them to lunch. That's what I did instead of the normal horse and pony show and the business cards and the handshaking, because everybody does that, and most of them let you down in the end.
So you mean to tell me you were willing to put it all on the line just like that?
Yeah.
Now
exactly. I'm always on the line. When I'm in the market, I'm on the line. So what's the difference?
So, well, I got to be arrogant. 24 out of 30 is 80%. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. 24. We do right there on the website. We do 80% or better, and we very rarely. I can't say every time because I can't guarantee anything. We have to obey the rules, obviously. But I can tell you this: we very rarely go below 80%. And I can't remember the last time we did go below 80%.
Well, let me ask you this question. You seem to be able to answer this. What's the real problem with the financial professional community right now? If we can do this, if you have that, I mean, what's really going on? What's the problem right now, do you think, if it's individuals out there like you that can actually predict and make these claims?
Well, courage. Most of them are just afraid. You have to be decisive. You have to be direct. Trading stocks, trading the market is a very frightening thing. And most of them are just so indecisive, they're paralyzed. They know a lot, but they can't perform. And the bottom line, they're mostly just afraid. That's the problem.
So you mean to tell me knowledge and experience, skill, has nothing to do with this? You said very little about those qualities. Surely it must be important.
They mean something, but how can I let me put it to you like this. Let me tell you a little side story. A few years ago, there was a waitress. She was participating in that financial challenge on one of those big-time channels. I think it was like $1 million, some big-time prize. A bunch of people were playing. I'm talking about, and people all over the world play this contest every year. She won. She waits tables. How she win? Well, she wasn't afraid because she was playing with fake money, so she wasn't really afraid of losing. She wasn't afraid of losing customers and being embarrassed. She was able to really do what she had to do. And as a result, all these brains and big shots, she beat them. And then another instance where a friend of mine that I know personally, who's an archer, I mean, he doesn't know very little about stocks, if anything. He just knew the system was working. He believed in it. And he racked up some huge, almost, I would say maybe a 4-figure return. I'm talking something crazy in the run of about a month and a half. Well, what did he do? He believed. He wasn't afraid. He did things we wouldn't normally do. He concentrated a lot of money in one position many times. Sometimes he bet it all. I mean, which was crazy. But the point is, when we are batting 8 out of 10, which we have been for a while, he got on a good run. Before you know it, he's at the top. Now, it took a lot of heart to do what he did. But what about all those other guys at the university? When I went to the university, there was a lot of us in school. A lot of us graduated. And we know a lot. But we don't have any answers. That's the problem. Without answers, your knowledge is meaningless. And if you don't have the decisive attitude and to really move on things when you have to, many times you won't perform. But I want to add something else, Cedric, that really a lot of people don't really know or consider. Everyone can't be a winner in the market. There must be balance. What I mean by that, like nature, for example, you can't have too many wolves or too little wolves because then you're going to have too many deer and other things are going to get out of line. We need sharks. We need all kinds of things that may be a little unpleasant. And in the market, we have to have balance as well. So we have to have a certain amount of losers in order for winners like me to exist. I know it sounds a little harsh, but every time I buy a stock, I bought a really good stock yesterday. I think, it was yesterday, and it really did really well. I know whoever sold that stock on the other side, way out there somewhere in the stock market, whoever they are, they're probably regretting selling that stock because they're like, wow, I made a mistake. I should have held on. So in order for there to be winners, there must be losers. And but you, Cedric, don't have to be a loser. I'm definitely not going to be a loser. And
well,
a lot of those folks
I can understand that. Let me stop you there. With all these other top professionals in the market, what makes you and your system, your firm, your organization different from theirs?
Well, I'll tell you something. The big problem is this, or at least the big separation is many financial professionals do well over and over again, year in and year out. But they can't tell you ahead of time they're going to do well. They wait till after it happens, and then they have a good reason to explain how they did it. And if things go bad, they're always going to have a good reason as to how they did it. We are going to do well no matter. We don't care about the economy. We're not going to make an excuse about the Dow Jones. A lot of people will say, oh, the Dow Jones or the index was down 20%, but we were only down 10%. So that means we did good. That's just the attitude of the common professional. We have said many, many times we're attempting to go above and beyond, so I can tell you ahead of time to a large degree where we're going to be. It may have a little variance in there, but we can drive our returns almost like we're driving our car to the store. And none of them that I know are able to do that. They'll when you ask them something about what's going to happen, they'll kind of use all these words, all this stuff. They'll give you more caveats and more disclaimers than you can count. I will tell you, I'd say, look, if I need 40% this year, I'll tell you we can drive it there just like a car, and there may be, we can't make anything, but we know what we can do. Put it like that. We know what we can do. And a lot of people, they don't know what they can do. They just cross their fingers, cross their toes, and after everything goes well, they got a nice sermon telling you why it went well. And if it goes bad, they tell you something good to that too. We don't. All we're going to do is do well, and if we do bad, we're not going to make any excuses. We're going to tell you that we blew it. That's it. We blew it. That's if we blow it, but I wouldn't wait for that too long.
So you're that confident in the Supravantage, or a hound dog, as you put it?
Oh, yeah, immensely confident. Totally confident.
Now, I was on your informational website. There were some very ominous questions you posted in the developer section, specifically paragraph 4. Are you familiar with that paragraph?
Oh yeah, I'm familiar. That word from a developer that was said. Just so you know, to answer your question, I have supreme firepower in the market. This is clear. You look at the data that we are able to generate with this system. They don't have an answer for this. There is no broker, advisor, or whoever. There is no answer for this. So what do? Do I go out and just compete? Do I just unleash it and take from everybody? Because taking from them is not going to be, it's not hard to do at all. So I honestly said, anybody that's under the sound of my voice, especially an advisor, please go to that section on the website, read it, and talk to me. Tell me what you would do if you had this thing in your possession. Because I don't have nobody that I can call on to say, well, when you had the hound dog, what did you do? I have no peers to at least give me some insight. So my feeling was, let me talk to the investment community at large. Let me glean their opinions and listen to what they have to say, and maybe they can give me some feedback that can help me form my policies. Because do I compete? And if I do compete, how hard do I compete? Do I ask them, hey, let me help you? What if they say no? What do I do? Just walk away when I know that they're weak and feeble? Do I just say, oh, well, okay, I guess I'll let him slide? I don't know. So these questions are questions that I'm posing because I'm really trying to figure out how do I unleash the hound dog? Because there's going to come a time when he's got to be unleashed.
So what do you think the chances, I'm going to stop you there. What do you think the chances are that another player out there somewhere can outdo the Supravantage?
Very, very, very slim. I mean, you got to be practically perfect. And, I know I don't want to sound too skeptical because most people would say I couldn't do what I'm doing. But if there is somebody out there, I'm just dying to see it myself. Please, you will amaze me beyond belief because if anybody can outdo Supravantage, that's incredible.
Does it frighten you in any way? I mean, if someone comes up with a better system and challenges you, I mean, does that frighten you?
No, Not at all, because I would welcome the challenge. We'd be like wrestling buddies, and they would make me stronger. They would make me see things that are weaknesses in the system that I need to address. They may run out ahead of me, and then it's going to make me run faster than I normally would.
This is incredible. So you're actually looking for a challenge to press you in the Supravantage system. You're looking for somebody to call you out.
Yeah, I need to. At worst, Cedric, all they're going to do, we're just going to cut the world in half. I already know what we're going to do. And right now, let's say I'm on a 20-trade run, and I'm doing 18-2 or 17-3, and that's how those numbers look. How much room does he have to press me? That means he's got to be 20-0, 19-1, 18-2, and then he's tying me. I mean, there's not much room to press me. There's just not, because you have to be so close to perfect until I ask myself, by the time I'm got 60 trades into a contest with this mystery person that you just asked about, and I'm, say, 57, well, actually, I won't be that high. Let's say maybe I'm 52-8, let's say. And then let's say he's going to be 54-6 or something like that. Now that's a contest. Now he's pressing me. I got to run. I got to catch him and this and that. But you know what the trick is, Cedric? Somebody has to get to that point first. Is there anybody out there that's ready to go? Out of 60 trades, say 55 wins, 54 wins, or any takers on that number? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I know what we're going to do. So if there is somebody out there, hey, impress me. I want to say, wow, scare me, shake me up.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're in the same boat I'm in, and my colleagues are in. You're looking for a top performer, somebody that can do what they say they can do.
Yeah, I am. Maybe not for the same reasons you all, but yeah, I'm looking so we can iron sharpens iron, so to speak. We can become better. And then, like I said, we'll split the world in half. I'm not worried about somebody beating me by 1 or 2 shots. That's all they're going to be able to do, because that's all we ever miss is 1 or 2 shots. So when they beat me, they're only going to beat me by 1 or 2 shots. So it can never be that much of a problem for me.
Well, like I had mentioned to you before, I'm sitting here with a couple of my colleagues. We formulated these questions. We wanted to hear you out. Gentlemen, are there any more questions from you guys? No more questions from them. We really don't have any more questions for you at this point. What we really want to do, we hear what you're saying. You seem a little arrogant, but hey, at the end of the day, Wall Street is arrogant. We know that. And what we're doing is we're looking for somebody or something that can help us preserve what we still have, with the potential or the possibility to earn more than what we did in the past couple of years. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue to digest your site, or the site that I found. If we have any more questions, can we come to this forum again? Will you take the time to speak with us again?
I would. I've enjoyed it, Cedric. I really have. We could talk again, sure.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate your time, and you enjoy it. I'll talk to you soon, I suppose.
Thanks, Cedric. Thank you so much.